So the campaign was that a TikToker called Julia Hewen.
She loves hoodies, so she thought, right, on my TikTok, I'm going to start talking about hoodies that hoodie.
She tried like hundreds and hundreds of hoodies on and started like rating them on her TikTok. So
Is that what her TikTok is? It's just her rating different hoodies. Has it always been that way, or is
no.
I did buy the first range of Prohibition PR hoodies.
Yeah.
Do they hoodie?
No, they definitely don't hoodie.
Oh, for God's sake!
What's wrong with it?
The point is, if you do a campaign with an influencer, which is what you would be doing here, we're talking about somebody that's actually interested in the area, and you take on board their feedback, you're going to create a more authentic product. But the proof of the pudding here will be whether people buy this hoodie that hoodies. Welcome to Embracing Marketing Mistakes, the podcast that aims to help you hit record revenue and double your ROI, all by learning from the glorious mistakes of the world's top marketers. I'm Chris Norton, and alongside my co-host, Will Ockenden, we're here to help you, the senior marketer, uncover insights, innovations, and lessons from some of the boldest campaigns in the industry. Today, we're thrilled to be joined by Sinead Morrissey, a senior account manager here at Prohibition PR HQ, to dive into Gap's groundbreaking first ever creator collaboration. In an exciting move to engage Gen Z and other younger audiences, Gap has teamed up with TikTok creator and artist Julia Hung to design a unique hoodie that redefines the brand's connection to modern culture. In this episode, Sinead will share the story behind this campaign and why Gap chose Julia, what this collaboration signals about the future of influencer marketing for legacy brands, how the campaign leverages the creator economy to build authenticity and reliability, the challenges Gap faced in making the shift, and the lessons learned along the way, because that's what we all want to hear. This collaboration blends creativity, authenticity, and bold innovation. And Sinead is here to give us an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at what it took to bring it to life. So, as always, sit back, relax, and let's hear how Gap is rewriting the playbook on brand partnerships with creators and what this means for the future of marketing in 2025. Enjoy. Sinead Morrissey, welcome back to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Last time was great. What did you cover last time? What did we talk about last time?
The Olaplex Ola Dupe campaign.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
then I was
right.
a guest with you once as well.
Yeah.
So it's an honour to be invited back.
It is. Well, you're better than my normal co-host, who unfortunately is with us as well. Hello, William.
Hello.
Hello. Right, so today, what have you got for us today, Sinead? What have you got?
I've got a really, some might say, annoying campaign. So the campaign was that a TikToker called Julia Hewen basically went on a quest to find a hoodie that hoodies. Explanation of a hoodie that hoodies is basically a hoodie that's for when you want to be comfortable yet stylish at the same time. It's the hoodie that you take to the airport, to the grocery store, or on a late night ice cream run. It's your staple go-to hoodie. So I've definitely got one of these hoodies.
Can I just point out, at this point, all I'm thinking is that every hoodie that you wear does all those things.
No, it doesn't.
Is this like a jacket that jackets?
Yeah, it's all about the fit.
Right, okay.
And
It's
is
all
this
about the
based
fit.
on some kind of insight that there's an awful lot of shit-fitting hoodies out there?
But yeah, so basically, as part of her quest, she tried like hundreds and hundreds of hoodies on and started like rating them on her TikTok. So
Is that what her TikTok is? It's just her rating different hoodies. Has it always been that way, or is
no, this was
right.
just a series that she started last year in October.
Okay.
So the first video that she put out had over 2 million likes, over 10,000 comments, and 70,000 shares. So obviously, it resonated with quite a lot of people that aren't you two.
And was she an established influencer before she started talking about hoodies?
Yeah, I think she has like 1 million followers.
Okay.
On TikTok and then quite a lot on Instagram as well. But basically, she started this quest and she started getting loads of hoodies sent to her by brands to review as part of the series.
And it's just a quest for her. It was originally, we're thinking it was just a quest she loves hoodies. So she thought, right, on my TikTok, I'm going to start talking about hoodies that hoodie.
Yeah. I think hoodies are quite a staple Gen Z part of their wardrobe.
Excuse me, the Gen X in me says that I did buy the first range of Prohibition PR hoodies.
Yeah.
Do they hoodie?
No, they definitely don't hoodie.
Oh, for God's sake.
What's wrong with them?
So
Will's taking personal offence.
Well, the first lot had silver writing on it.
Yeah, we looked like a dance
Yeah, we look
It's
like
quite nice
we look
look.
like some sort of dance group. Yeah.
it's the fit. The fit is
Right.
all wrong. So for Julia, The fit is that you want a wide boxy fit paired with a nice drop shoulder and wide sleeves. The sleeves are very important. The hood needs to be big enough to fit your head in without having to squeeze. And the feel needs to be soft and have a really nice heavy weight to it.
Okay.
None of those things which our Prohibition hoodies have.
Okay.
So
Noted.
Prohibition hoodies are available. No, they're not because we don't sell them.
the arms are too tight. The waistband is too tight.
Okay.
And the colour is all wrong.
Right, excellent. I'm glad that me and Will did a good job on that then.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you probably should have.
Maybe we
assigned
should
that
do
task
some
to someone else.
embracing marketing mistakes, hoodies that hoodie.
Yeah? Okay.
Like, we'll do one and see if we can sell it.
So basically, how Gap became involved is that rather than sending her a hoodie like everyone else, they came up with the idea to get her to create one for their first ever creator collab.
Right.
So they've done loads of collabs this year, but no one's actually created a product for them. And this is the first time they've ever done it. So they flew her to their design offices in New York, and she worked with the team on everything from the weight, the fit, the construction, the fabric, the colours. And the result was not only a hoodie that hoodies, but the hoodiest hoodie. Julia approved. So
Now
from
that
there...
to warn everybody before we get into this video, it is the word hoodie becomes mildly irritating, doesn't it?
Yeah. So if we watch her original video first.
If you ever wondered why some people's hoodies, they're just hoodieing, let me let you in on the hoodie secret, okay? I feel like there's a hoodie community that knows the secret and no one is telling y'all. Okay, so this is my hoodie. She's hoodieing, right? This hoodie hoodies. This is also a hoodie that hoodies. And this is a hoodie that does not hoodie. Let me show you. Okay, she's on. Like, it's not hoodieing. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you everything wrong with this hoodie. No shade to UCLA, but this hoodie is trash. So look at the sleeve. It's too tight around my arm. The width of the sleeve needs to be wide. Like, if you compare it to my other hoodie that hoodies, look at that. Look at the difference. Also, the fit. It's just really tight in here. You want this to be boxy, so it needs to be wide. Now let me show you everything right about this hoodie. This hoodie hoodies. It hoodies so hard, it's the hoodiest of hoodies. Look at the sleeves. You see the dramatic difference between the other hoodie and this hoodie? Look at that. This is so wide. Look at this. It's so wide. Looks so much better because the sleeve is coming in here and not up here. And do you see how wide this is? Look at that. This same rule applies to crew necks as well. Look at the sleeves. They're wide. Basically, the sleeves need to be wide and this part needs to be wide too. It doesn't matter how big or small the hoodie is. The ratio just needs to be right. Good luck hoodie hunting. Also, please recommend any more hoodies for me. Thanks.
Okay, can I? So my first take on that, we've just watching that first video is, and I'm aware we've got someone Gen Z in the room as well as a millennial. Now,
I'm
to
on
me,
the cusp, actually.
you're on the cusp of both. Stop clinging on with dear life.
You're a millennial.
So she demonstrated there quite well. I sort of get it, but the arms thing that you were talking about, so the Prohibition hoodie that you were talking about,
Tight.
I think the ones that are tighter look better. Like because for those of you that are listening by audio, I felt that you might as well, instead of calling them sleeves, call them wings. They were more the hoodie that hoodies looks a bit more like you've got bloody Batman's wings on. You know what I mean?
I mean,
yeah.
but, I mean that's a separate debate.
Yeah.
No, I think it's part of the debate. Does it?
It's a separate
Well, I
debate.
mean, do you think Gap implemented some kind of social listening to identify that this was a kind of a trending topic?
Well, yeah. So I think basically the head of marketing said that someone from the women's merchandising team brought it to her because obviously they noticed it just as a trending piece of content. But I think obviously a lot of the time when we work with clients, they'll come to us and they'll say, we want to create a collab, and we kind of work backwards and have to try and find someone that's a good fit, and it's all a little bit forced, which is probably the scenario that most brands will be in. But this just sort of fell at their feet because obviously I guess they could have just sent a hoodie like every other brand did, but they kind of took it one step further, and I think
It's organic though, isn't it?
yeah, so that's kind of what worked.
Is she paid for this? She must have been. She was flown to New York, and that's some serious investment in time, even if she's there 3 days or whatever.
Yeah, and obviously I'm guessing she'll make some money off the back of
The hoodie
hoodies that are sold.
yeah.
But I think Gap have basically said that a big part of their marketing strategy is shifting to more of a social first place. So they want to be socially led with everything that they do. So I think that's sort of why they went into this feet first and did something a bit different.
But that makes total sense with Gap's audience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They always done the youth, Gen Z, not Gen Z, but even before that, it was always about young, dynamic individuals.
And they said that they knew that their hoodies were obviously a staple item for them, but that it might not necessarily hoodie in Julia's eyes. So knowing that she has that sort of specific take on it, they thought that it made most sense to invite her in and get her to create her own. And they also said that they know that a single piece partnership like this won't likely prove a big sales driver, but that's not the goal. And they're looking to drive credibility and relevance. Success will be based on engagement and reach, views, shares, likes, the content that's happening within the comments, and what the community is saying, which is quite a refreshing take from our perspective.
Do you think this also generated traditional media coverage? Maybe in the kind of I could imagine the kind of the hipster media, for example, picking up on it. Like Heisner Bayati and stuff like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen loads. Most of the coverage I've seen, I think it was in kind of marketing media, and there was I think is it Glossy, which is a fashion title.
But it's a social first execution, community focused execution, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think Gap have quite a good understanding that was the case. Whereas, so it was in Glossy, which is like a fashion title.
Yeah.
They kind of interviewed Julia and the head of marketing at Gap, but I think that's not why they did it. They just wanted to make their mark on something from a social perspective, and they realised that I guess, a slightly more organic campaign. Obviously, it kind of, once they obviously got her involved in creating the product, it's not necessarily, but in its sort of how it started was more of a organic nature for the collaboration, which isn't often the case these days.
So we get to see the next video. She shows the product, right, that they developed.
Yes.
I was going to say the Pen a la Vodka Heinz Absolute collab is the only other example I can think of. With Bella Hadid talking about Pen a la Vodka, then they created the limited edition.
Yeah, but that was, they created it after somebody identified it. It was clever because they did that. This feels like they've gone authentic. They've seen somebody is on a mission to create. So it feels like Gap were doing social listening and trying to plug into the TikTok sort of what trends are out there in fashion. Oh, this person's looking like there might be someone out there that's saying, here's my shorts that's shorty, for instance. That was awful. That. Nobody's going to ever say that. But you know what I mean? They were looking at finding the perfect denim shorts, I don't know, and maybe then Gap had engaged with them. Maybe that, you see it to develop. I can see it feels authentic and it feels like they've listened.
I'm surprised no other brand thought to do this.
I know.
Because in retrospect, it seems so obvious.
That's the thing. It does seem so obvious, and it isn't overly clever.
Yeah.
It's quite simple.
But the execution's great.
And how much did it cost, though?
Well, yeah, that's...
Because she's quite a big influencer. I mean...
It's probably the $1 million they had to spend on the campaign that's stopped anyone else doing it.
Yeah. So this is one of the videos she posted
So I've reviewed
afterwards.
a lot of hoodies. Like, a lot. And we've been looking for the hoodiest hoodie for over a year now. I've been hiding a little secret from you guys. After trying many, many, many hoodies, I finally designed a hoodie that hoodies with Gap. So exciting, I know. A few months ago, I flew across the country to New York City on a freaking mission to the Gap design offices. And we made sure that this hoodie was exactly to my liking. We measured out the hood, the cuffs, the waistband, the sleeves, the boxiness, literally everything that makes a hoodie hoodie. And the hoodie just arrived in the mail, and I'm so excited to see it for the first time ever.
So, I mean, quite clever that. They send her it, it's in a box, it's all done. Nice bespoke hoodie that hoodies.
And
I'd be
then she
interested to
does-
know if anyone bloody buys it.
Well, I think she gifted, she had like 50 to gift to
Right.
other influencers.
Wow,
And
yeah.
then it was going into 20 stores and being sold online. But obviously we don't have any insight on
On
how
the
well it
store's
actually did.
sales yet, yeah.
And at the moment, obviously the first video had over 2 million views. These videos haven't had, they've had over 100,000, I think, but not as many.
I finally designed a hoodie that hoodies with Gap. Like I literally flew across the country to create this. So this hoodie, better hoodie. And this is the first time I'm seeing her, so let's check her out. Oh my god! I don't even want to open it. Like I'm just so nervous. Oh, this feels luxurious. This is so heavy. Oh my goodness. Stop. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Okay, we're gonna try her on. This is a size medium. Oh my god, I can already tell it's gonna be good. Off the bat, the material is amazing. It's like not too fleecy, if you know what I mean. It feels so good. It's 650 GSM. That's insane. This is what the front looks like. This is what the back looks like. Okay, moment of truth. Literally? Yes. I don't think I've ever been so happy in my life. This hood is so big. Even with my hair down, it's not touching my face. The cuffs have the perfect amount of stretch. Girl. Boxy, but not too boxy. Also, the waistband is so amazing. It's not too tight. You can also pull her up and get this nice little slouchy effect. We love her. Dare I say I'm obsessed. Final verdict? Does this hoodie? Oh yeah. This hoodies. Also, guess what? She has a front pocket. Yeah, this is a luxury nowadays.
What do you think, Will? Will you be buying a hoodie that hoodies?
I'm still not entirely clear on what hoodieing means, but I mean, it's for me, it's an interesting exercise in community-led social. It's social done the right way, isn't it? Where they're genuinely listening to their community.
Yeah,
and the execution's great as well.
It's mental. I work, but this is nothing new. Like I worked before. I think the first year that I had Prohibition, I worked with a brand that does waterproof boots. Right. Bear with me. So this was when bloggers were before there was no influencers. There was influential bloggers, but you couldn't find them online. You had to like do your own research. You could find them online, but there wasn't like lists and stuff. And I got hired by a company to do outreach for professional workman boots, and they were waterproof and they could repel anything from water, blood. So they were great for the NHS. So imagine you're a paramedic, you get blood on you. Bear with me. Anyway, so the client hired. I worked with this agency, and I was hired to outreach it all and do to get all the social engagement. So I outreached. This was a global thing. I did it on my own. I outreached around the world, and I think I sent out 25 to 50 pairs, something like that. Took quite a bit of time, and the people got them, and then they wrote about. They do a review on their blog and talk about them. Anyway, about 10 of them reviewed them and came back to me and said, yeah, they're great boots, because they had this technology on. I think the brand was High-Tech, actually. They're really great. The only problem is can't wear these in the NHS because they don't have steel toe caps. And so I fed that back to the creators of the brand, and the brand then changed the product, and it became a thing with steel toe caps. That is 14 years ago. So it's not. Do you see my point?
Something new, yeah.
So, but the point is, if you do a campaign with an influencer, which is what you would be doing here, we're talking about somebody that's actually interested in the area, and you take on board their feedback, you're going to create a more authentic product. But the proof of the pudding here will be whether people buy this hoodie that hoodies. Has it got a name, or is it just called the hoodie that hoodies?
I don't know.
Well, I suppose it depends if it's a pure brand awareness engagement play.
Which is what they've said, I think.
Yeah, it's awareness, yeah. I suppose it's attention, isn't it?
So what are your kind of learnings for other brands then, Sinead, with an execution like this?
I think a lot of brands obviously do social listening for the sake of social listening, but only really look at how their brand's being talked about and ignore how the product, something like a hoodie, is being spoke about online, or
the category as a whole.
Yeah. And I think that is a big mistake, because you are then missing out on sort of authentic conversation around products that you're then going to sell, but you're not actually clocking the conversations that are happening like trends or other sort of topics that can lead into campaigns that you could run. And it's kind of, I know it's not reinventing the wheel, but it is sort of thinking outside of the box and not just gifting someone something. But it's then still not that overly complicated.
So if you're a marketer, you could have somebody in your marketing team, you could say, go off, research the category, because obviously TikTok's a search engine. What are people searching for or talking about in our category? How are they referencing it? Is there anything that we can tap into that's not just us sending out widgets to get you to review a widget?
Yeah, I mean, is that TikTok to understand brand and use and category conversations is so powerful, isn't it now?
Yeah.
I mean, there's, whatever category you're in, whatever your brand is, chances are it is being actively discussed. As Chris said, there's going to be insightful feedback on your product for better or for worse, isn't there? Which you possibly could take on board.
Yeah, but I would buy the hoodie, I think, is the...
Okay, so Sinead would buy the hoodie. Would our listeners buy the hoodie? Let us know in the comments. Would you buy the hoodie?
Although actually I think it's quite expensive.
It'll probably
How much
only be available on eBay for about £500 now, won't it?
I think it's like $100.
Is this available along with the sack of sauce?
I don't know how much that is.
Do you remember?
Oh, yeah,
The sack of
Nando's
sauce
sack
was
of
like
sauce.
£250 a bottle.
Didn't they then
Yeah.
give it all away for free for like one weekend or something?
But
So you
then
can
no,
have loads of
but
it.
then people stuck
Oh,
their
right.
bottles on eBay, and we were looking when I was with Caitlin, and it was like £250 for a bottle of sack of sauce. That was £5
I
originally.
don't think this is going to have the same effect, to be honest.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on the show, Sinead. Again,
You've made us feel really old with that
Yeah.
example,
Good.
but I'm sure there's lots of listeners that love that.
yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure you go out and buy the hoodie. No, but we're not involved in the hoodie or selling of the hoodie.
So if you can tell us how many times we've actually said hoodie during this podcast, you can win a Prohibition hoodie, which the value of which has now gone down significantly after Sinead said they
Because
don't,
it
they don't
doesn't
hoodie.
hoodie.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
which is loved by Gen Z and older millennials. We've discovered. See you again next week, everybody. Thanks for listening.